Let me ask you this question. If I put you in a studio for, let's say, 60 hours, right? You don't think you would come out with one good sounding song? 60 hours of straight focus time.
Chris, I know people that I can put in front of a basketball hoop for 60 hours and they wouldn't make a shot.
They'd make a shot.
Like, what are you saying?
I would love the viewers to tell me what they think. I feel like, hey, Jace, if I put you in the studio for 60 hours, not one good song's coming out.
I played one good, like...
You said an album, though.
No, I'm saying right now. An album, give me 10,000 hours.
Because I'm going to say 60. It's not.
Hell no. Mm-mm. For album, I'm gonna come out with a Take Care.
Whoa.
A Spanish Take Care?
Oh, Spanish Take Care.
How do you say Take Care in Spanish?
Quedar.
Well, we don't have anybody here to fact check that, so I guess that's how you say it.
See, something like that. I might be wrong, but I think that's the first word that came to my head. But all I'm gonna say is, I make a good song.
We'll see. We'll see when you do it.
I'll be the judge of that.
We'll see when we actually do it.
I'm gonna make a studio one day in my basement.
I got a question.
I always thought that'd be cool.
Have a studio in the basement.
Right.
Hell yeah, that'll be dope.
But
I got a question for you guys.
Demon.
What do you feel like is? I would say that all right. The most when people get to know you, right? What's the one thing they're most surprised by when they actually get to know you? Like that they don't see coming.
That I'm not as serious as they think.
Yeah?
Yeah. Most people see me on the outskirts and think I'm a very serious, disciplined, do everything 100% guy. But when they get to know me, they realize I'm that way, but I'm also goofy.
Mm-hmm. Don't call yourself a goofy.
Not like that. Not like a goofy, but I'm a goofy.
No, I know. Okay. You got a fun side to you. Feel me?
I guess that's
You're like a mullet. It's business in the front.
Mullet.
What's the party in the back?
I wouldn't compare myself to a mullet. I mean, not a mullet. You ever seen like? I would say more like, like the fool and all the Shakespeare plays. You ever seen like the Shakespeare's plays?
Yeah.
The fool.
Like the jesters.
The fool. He's always the wisest one, but he's always having the most fun. That's what I see.
Okay. I have to imagine that, but I get you. I get what you're saying. What about you, Gigi?
I'm slow. Like, real life.
Could you explain that a little bit?
Nah, real life, like, it takes me a second to... it takes me... No, like, you're laughing, but I'm being so serious. Like... You might have to repeat it once or twice. Like, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
But you might just have to repeat it once or twice.
Is it that you don't listen or that you are slow?
That could be a thing. I've heard that a lot.
They just don't be listening.
That I just don't listen.
So you're getting this.
Thanks.
I
mean, because you're right next to me.
I thought you were about to swing. I had my reflexes going.
Oh, my God.
I was like, oh, shit.
I guess because you're right next to me, but...
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
But she's slow.
I wasn't expecting that one.
It's like, Kiki, what are people most surprised about? I'm dumb.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
She didn't say dumb, she said slow.
I know.
It, like, it just takes a second.
That's funny as hell.
What about you, Jace? What about you?
I don't know what the question was. I'm sorry. I'm really lost in this conversation.
What?
I'm focused doing something else over here.
What is something that people are most surprised by when they get to know you?
I don't know.
What about you, Santi?
I feel like it's my sense of humor.
Sense of humor?
Yeah.
I feel like you come off as funny though.
Nah, a lot of people they think I'm like, I don't know. Especially when I have my dread, man, people like, yo, you funny as hell.
That's racist.
I thought you was a mean ass nigga.
True.
I'm like,
see, it's that was because of the dreads. That wasn't because of who you actually.
But
were.
people might see me and they just might.
I feel like you lead with like your charisma.
Yeah, I try.
True.
So like, it's not something that people would know like because you lead with
You
that.
have to know you to know that.
They probably. I think I would say people don't know. Santi low key knows mad shit about history. Like I mean, like he'll be like, yeah, like in the 1800s that's what they used to get through the.
I don't know why he gave me that voice. don't know why I got that voice just now.
Because it's like a history teacher voice.
Yeah, I was a history major
See,
till
but
last
that's
year,
what
man.
They don't know.
Yeah.
They
Stuff
see you
like
as so
that.
artistic. That's hidden. That's
Bro,
underneath.
you know, sometimes I'll be in like a setting with people, and they'll be talking about something. It doesn't happen too much around you guys, don't worry.
Yeah.
But like they'll be talking about something, and they'll start throwing out like names and dates. Like, oh yeah, this happened, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, you're so wrong. But I don't want to be that guy. Like, actually,
See, that's what I mean.
Like,
See,
that shit is.
I think that's the hidden thing.
Okay, all right, I could take that too. I could definitely take that. But yeah,
What would you say about Jace?
Jace, I feel like a lot of people don't know how. I almost called him handsy. that guy Jace don't know how to give his fucking hands to him. So, but it's not handy. How handy Jace can do a lot of shit. Like,
and you know, I'm gonna say one thing about Jace.
Boy, charade
I
knife.
think as a man, it's probably one of the best compliments you give someone. I think you don't realize how useful Jace is. Like, I feel like he's just useful. Like, whatever you need to do something, in any random endeavors, like Jace could be of use.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great compliment to give someone, in my opinion.
Facts.
I appreciate
You know,
My boy could camp. My boy could hunt. My boy. Let me give you these compliments on there. Relax. Nah, Jace could do mad shit though.
Yeah.
And I would say the most surprising thing that about the both of you that people don't know.
Yeah.
Is how fucking immature you guys
I
are.
know he's listening. Nice. I know he says it's nice.
These two are children, okay?
People let Makita introduce herself.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. This is your boy SOTW, aka Demigod, and we back. It's episode 39. It's a family affair here. You know, we got a very special guest, our cousin Makita Simpson. She in the build. Yeah, your government. Got big cousin in the building with us.
Hey guys. I'm supposed to say like thanks for having me.
You should.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could show a little gratitude
for having you on or not.
Hey guys, thanks for being here. I mean,
do you remember how we used to pretend to do like the Disney Channel shits? Now's your time to shine.
This is your moment. You've been practicing for this.
I have not.
This is Makita, and you've been watching Disney Channel.
One time.
Wait, no, I'm supposed to say it first and then draw, right?
Oh,
yeah. That's what she was talking about, guys. A little slow.
She got like 2 more seconds. She got like 5 more seconds for her intro. And that's
Alright, stop. Alright, for real. It's Kiki. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes. You're welcome.
Yeah, stop with the Makita thing. It's Kiki.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. I mean, people...
Yeah,
you know, we call you Kiki.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
But I was trying to like...
At work, what do they call you?
Kiki.
Okay, she got that.
Alright, you got it. Let's Kiki, everybody. She family to us, so she family to y'all.
Yes,
Hey
sir.
guys.
Welcome back to the Demigod Chronicles.
And hold on, I want to do your intro. We got
Am I doing shit?
Papi Champu back in the building.
Papi Café.
Look. You see how he glistening over there?
Bienvenida.
My boy, he like a shade and a half darker.
Bienvenida.
You feel me? He came back a little bit more Spanish.
Sí. Sí.
Tell the people who use that.
República Dominicana con mi novia y yo conocí 9 personas. It was muy hermosa. Me encanta esta isla. País is beautiful. I loved it. So, but I had a really great time, man. It was a very eye-opening experience. We'll talk about it later, but like made me think a lot about life, and it was a good experience.
Yeah. That's dope. We got the travel. It's just us 3 this week. No Lay, no Jay.
You introduced yourself.
What?
You introduced yourself.
Yes, I did.
No, he didn't.
What?
Welcome back to the Demigod Chronicles. Your boy SOTW.
You did do that.
I'm pretty sure I do it every
He
week.
did. Maybe it's rubbing off.
Nah, you missed 1 week. You missed 1 week. You forgot.
Oh yeah.
He missed 1 week. We got Jason in the building on the 1s and 2s.
2s and 3s.
Enter sound effect here. That was a round of applause,
We're
right?
gonna do a splash.
Whoa!
Wallet.
Why do you need a splash?
He said can do a little.
But why would you want to splash?
The sound effect, like a little,
Yeah, but why?
like. That shit.
But why? You're explaining the sound effect. I'm clear on what that is. Why would he need a splash emoji?
Because it's like it's Jason 1 and 2s.
Alright.
No wait. Stop.
Yeah.
No?
Nah.
Oh. What would you like?
For my sound effect?
Yeah, it's Jason on 1s and 2s.
A drum.
See?
Definitely not a splash, right? I feel like you're kind of sounding wrong, man. You're trying to tell people Jace got that.
Whoa.
Alright,
Stop
so
recording?
No, it didn't.
Oh, that's
That's
it.
all recording.
yeah, that's recorded. But yeah, let's get into your vacay, man.
I said, no, we started with current event.
No, it's alright.
No, I really want to talk about what happened, bro. It's part of the vacation, too.
Alright.
Because while I was on vacation, I saw someone was like, yo, Biden putting out an executive order that all government officials have to be vaccinated. Everyone who's an employee at a company with more than 100 employees has to get vaccinated. And certain, I think all healthcare facilities and a couple other facilities that receive funding from the government. So they said that's about 2/3 of the entire work population. So pretty much everyone's about to be vaccinated or be unemployed.
Unemployment is over.
So unemployment doesn't sound good. I don't
No.
know. Something about it
And
just don't sound too good.
Unemployment is over with too.
Yep.
They're not.
I don't think it could, what if I wonder honestly you probably definitely don't get an unemployment check. I would assume so. That if you got released from work or you got let go because you wouldn't want to take a vaccine. Wait, does that mean NFL players gotta get vaccinated?
I don't know.
100%.
I feel like a
That's
lot.
a company, right?
Yeah.
Like the
The NFL organization.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, like D-Hop, he made a statement. He was saying that he was like, I would hate for it to happen, but he was like, he would definitely walk away from football if they try to force him to get the vaccine. And he's one of the top 3 receivers in the game right now.
But someone like him is like, bro, he's he got over. Remember, and we're gonna talk about this later too. But he's someone like it's believed in like Indian culture that when you reach a certain level of success, you can walk away from society. He has enough money and enough success to say that. He got over $100 million. He could dead be like, okay, I'm gonna leave society. And
There was a
people
couple
be
people that were saying that. That's why a lot of people had opted out last year because it wasn't safe and they weren't, really necessarily fond of the vaccine either. So,
But I feel like an NFL player gets COVID. Like, not all of them are healthy because you see people like Chad Johnson eat McDonald's, but he looked like a, you feel me? So not all of them are actually healthy inside out. But for most of them, they're gonna get sick and nothing's gonna happen to them. Or like they'll just get a couple symptoms, but they won't be affected.
But it still affects the organization. I feel like because a lot of the
workers,
the workers, the coaches are usually older. Most coaches are over 40.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have people that also have pre-existing issues that you're gonna be around, and you have to shut down the operation for days. You have to make sure people get tested. Whoever's sick, you have to quarantine them. So you're gonna miss them for at least 2.5 weeks.
But what about working from home?
I mean, that's
like if you work from now we're done with NFL, but if you work from home and say your company has more than 100 employees, should you be required to get vaccinated still?
I feel like if it wasn't an issue before with everyone getting weekly tested, then why should it be an issue now? Why are we forcing people to get the vaccine now? Why are we skipping over the weekly?
Oh, yeah, and
I think it's because as a company, they're probably looking at it as like, all right, these people are this is the population of people not being compliant, right? Yeah. In their heads. And 2 would be they're wasting money and resources each week testing these people when they just get vaccinated.
I think it is or. It's either get the vaccination or get tested every single week.
Okay.
True, but I see both ends.
But
so NFL's already doing that, so they must have had it inside.
Yeah, but NFL it says daily, because that's where I work. Remember, I work at the testing site for the Giants. I don't know if I should be saying that, but whatever. But yeah, they get tested each week. I have to go make sure that the labs are all stocked up and sanitized and stuff like that. So, and they use a lot of stuff, bro. Like the people that get blood tests, they use the syringes and the capsules, like every day. Sorry, I just hit the mic. But every day that I go there, the garbage bins, like when they take it out, it'll be full, and that's all medical stuff.
You never recycle it?
Gloves.
Does it all get recycled?
No, you can't recycle
No,
any of that
they
stuff.
I think they burn it. They box it up and then send it somewhere, and then they burn it all.
Yeah, it's
They
medical
do
waste.
that,
You can't
yeah,
you can't
do that.
recycle medical
recycle.
waste.
Mm-mm.
No. So it's gloves, paper towels for when they wipe the things down. They go through at least like the two of the big Lysol wipes. They go through like two of them at their station a day. Then they have the PPEs that they throw out. They have like the actual like cleaning products they use. Like it's a bunch of shit, bro.
Yeah,
That's
everything.
crazy.
So imagine a bunch of different places using that much stuff every single day.
Well, that's what's about to happen.
That's one team. So 32 teams are doing that. And then imagine if companies are doing that.
They're gonna have to now, bro.
Exactly. So it's gonna be a lot.
But there's gonna be once a week.
Yeah. And you bro, like you said before, it's gonna be that shit where it's like you fix one problem, but it opens up a bigger problem.
I saw a post too on Instagram today. Someone posted, it was like, why won't the CDC come out and say, why don't CDC come out and say, hey guys, go out, get some good sun, get good vitamin D, eat whole plant foods, like eat good food for you, exercise, and raise your immune system. Like, why is that not a recommendation? Because we all know. Well, we don't all know this, but most people have an idea. Well, no, actually, our family knows that like vitamin D,
Right.
vitamin C, zinc, all these things are good for your immune system. You should take them. You should take echinacea. Like, we learn these
Because
things.
they don't get money from that,
Yeah. It's not profitable for them.
basically.
Tell them they go outside to get some sunlight.
Basically, yeah. It's a lot of things where people are like deathly ill, and it's natural medicine where they can go and make themselves feel better. But instead of like providing that or even offering that or recommending that, like you said, they're not going to do that because that's money coming out of their pockets. That's money coming out of the hospital's pockets. That's money coming out of the paychecks. So of course not. If it's more money coming to me, so I would rather you keep coming to me than go find something else that's going to help you in the long run.
Mm-hmm. I saw
The
something.
sicker you are, the better I am.
Exactly. I saw something. It was I take it with a grain of salt, but it was like a lady. She was talking about like these like a bunch of like public cases and stuff like that, and she was saying that there was a hospital that was trying to like sue. I forgot what it was, but basically, they put out like a legislation that all hospitals had to have it as public record as the services you provide and how much they cost. Because they can say like, all right, if you come here, you get an X-ray, it's $2,500. But there's some other places that are in like nicer areas, or like there might be places in low income areas that they take advantage, and they might for the same thing charge people $4,500 or $5,000, something like that. And there was hospitals that actually had a problem against it, and it was like hospitals fighting that shit because they're like, oh, we feel like that we shouldn't have to show that because it's just gonna give our competitors. But at the end of the day, like you shouldn't be worried about. I thought it was crazy. I'm like, you're more worried about competitors beating your prices than the actual people
actually taking care of the people that need you.
Exactly, trying to get healthy. It's like that should be public record, because if I'm in an area and I have Hackensack Hospital over here, right, and I have Teaneck Hospital over there, right, I should be able to say like, all right, this is something I have to go get done. I can look up online. It costs this much at this restaurant. And it costs this much here. Costs this much here.
I'm gonna go here.
Exactly. And it's the person's choice. Like even if you lose out on clients, like bro, the number one debt in America is through medical.
Yep. It's number reason people go bankrupt.
Medical bills. It's like I get sick, and now I have to spend. Like, whatever your plans was, you had all this money saved up, you have to spend all that money on your hospital bills and sometimes go over it. And then now, God willing, I get healthy, right? Now I'm healthy, but I have all these bills. And now these are bills that are going to stress me, make me sick again. Or I have to go back to work and work hard, make me sick again. Yeah. It's like a never-ending cycle.
Bro, that's how bro, the way my philosophy on health, like things I do, like why I go extra mile. People like, oh, it's expensive to do this, bro. It's cheaper to do that.
To say that
it's cheaper to prevent things than to cure things.
Mm-hmm.
They've been proving that in healthcare. I took a healthcare economics class. So I learned all about the economics of healthcare. We looked at different countries, different stats. Bro, it's cheaper to prevent something than it is to cure something.
Yeah.
Even on a small scale, large scale, right? But in America, most of money in healthcare goes to curing something. We don't put a lot of money as a culture into preventing things from happening. So like paying for a gym, getting a massage every once in a while, going to the chiropractor, whatever you have to do. Take vitamins, eat fruits, juice something. Like that's cheaper than slapped with a $50,000 medical bill, $10,000 for the x-ray. Oh, they can't find out what's wrong. Then take another $10,000 test. Oh, they can't figure it out. It's not working. Maybe we'll check your liver. Because like most doctors, they're specialists in like parts of the body. They're not like, there's not many people who are like, oh, this is connected to this. I don't understand the whole human body. You got to go to a pancreas specialist. You got to go to a thyroid specialist. So like, bro, they're all trying to figure out what's wrong with you. That shit all costs money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think most, especially young people, I think like, that's what I said. I talk about collateral beauty. You know, a lot of young people got to really look at what a sick 65-year-old bill looks like, or a sick 50-year-old person bill look like, and ask yourself, do you want to pay that? Because you're looking at $100,000 bill. That's real life for a lot of people in America. Take care of yourself, bro. You don't want that shit.
Yeah. I was a little extra. Moving on to the next current event. You know, we got a lady president, so we could definitely talk about it. We ain't a bunch of men making decisions without ladies being present. White men, white people.
He's bugging out.
But what they gonna cancel me? Fuck, cancel these 400 years, nigga. Yeah, it's like that. But in Texas, there was a law passed. It was a bill. Jace. All right, this isn't funny. I'm sorry. There's just some stuff going on behind the scenes. But yeah, Jace, you can bring up the article just so we could read it verbatim. But there was a bill passed. It's basically prohibiting women in Texas to abort any fetus or any fetus past 6 weeks, because that's when not supposedly, but that's when they start, having a heartbeat. So they said by Texas law, that's a person, so you shouldn't be allowed to terminate the person. This was a decision made by all males. There was no type of inclusion, huh?
Supreme Court made it. Okay, bless you.
Bless you. No, it was a state legislature, and Supreme Court was supposed to decide on it, but Supreme Court justice is absent. Right? Think it is? Hold on. Here's what the Texas abortion law says. Okay. So new Texas law states that the Supreme Court did not block last week abortion functionally illegal in the state. Several other states have tried over the years to limit or ban abortion before fetal viability, but have not managed to maneuver past the courts. Texas lawmakers did so through a unique legal approach. The law, Senate Bill 8, bans most abortion after about 6 weeks, but most people know they are pregnant around 10. This authorizes citizens to enforce it. Abortion providers in Texas said that about 85 to 90% of the procedures they previously performed were about the 6 week mark. To better understand what the
90% of them,
85 to 90%, it says
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it says that to better understand what the bill says and does, it says read the law in its entirety. So with two professors, yeah,
Who actually read it?
Yeah. So basically, they made it. It's not even just the person. So you can get fined up to, I think it said $15,000, and anyone who helped abide it, meaning the doctor that performed it. Right. They said down to the Lyft driver that took them there. So what Lyft does now is sent a message out to all their Texas drivers. They're like, basically don't deny anybody giving a ride to anybody to a clinic or anything like that, in fear of that you'll be sued as well, because they're protecting the drivers and they have a fund specifically for that now.
I think they should. as we were talking, I wanted the people, the politicians that approved it, they should look at what companies fund them. Like if you live in Texas or whatever, you should look at what companies fund these politicians. Because if you really wanted to like hit them where it hurts, you would stop giving money to the companies who are funding all their campaigns.
They won't do that.
And ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It takes effort. You know, you gotta really, you gotta dig.
It takes a lot of effort.
But if you really like, say that is something you're super like, you decide is your life path and life passion, you should look at that.
Yeah.
You know, but in my opinion, it's wrong. Like, I feel like they said, like if you like, and it's interesting to me how conservatives view this, because it's like if you believe that everyone should be free to do exactly what they want and the state shouldn't have the power to tell people what to do, then you can't be a hypocrite almost, and you can't say it's okay to do that with some things, but when it's something we disagree with, because we're, I guess they say they're strong Christians, just because you disagree with something, now you can't say, oh, that belief we have about letting people do what they want and not the state impeding on people, oh, but for this it doesn't matter. I don't think that's right. It's whatever. If you believe that, then you have to let people be free to make their own decisions and assume that the common person is educated and intelligent enough to make the best decisions for them and their family. If that's what you believe, then with everything you do has to embody that.
Yeah.
And with this law, that clearly to me doesn't show that that's what they're doing. So.
Yeah, and on top of that, one of the main points that were made by a lot of people was the fact that it was brought up, the fact that, you know, there are women that are raped that become pregnant after. There's, you know, girls who are molested by family members where those type of things happen, and, you know, an abortion is the better option rather than having to live with the reminder of something that happened. You feel me? That's really traumatic to you. And they specifically only put in, the only clause is that if the wife figures out, if the mother figures out that having the child is detrimental to her health. So like if the doctor told her, like, listen, if you have this baby, it's you or the baby, they have a choice and they won't be able to be under any persecution for that. But I think, like, as males, for y'all to come up with that decision, and there's like really things like that happen out in the world, like how do you sit there and, like, you know, like, be able to sit there with a straight face and be like, yeah, this is the only reason. Yeah, this is the only reason. Like, if someone was raped, they shouldn't have to keep the child within fear that they will be sued.
Does the article say what percentage of people in Texas agree with that law?
No.
They should figure that's also something to think about too, because we live, like, America's a republic, and a republic means you vote people into power who will make decisions for you, right? So if people in Texas, like, let's say 70% of people in Texas are okay with the law, then technically is also the same, like, okay, in Texas that's the law. Well, if 30% of you guys don't agree with it, then I guess you kind of have to, like, be okay with it or move out, because the people in Texas who voted for the republic actually agree with that. So it's like, it's also, we got to think about it too from their perspective. Oh, that's what they want. Us in New Jersey might not like it, but hey, we don't live in Texas. We don't vote for their governors. We wouldn't let something like that happen in Jersey. We just gotta be respectful of that. Like, that's what they actually might like in Texas.
I don't know how that would work out, because I know if they asked a large amount of women, all the women would have disagreed with that.
But it's like the people in Texas.
That's what I'm saying. In Texas, the women in Texas, if they were part of that sample group, it would be. Let's say if it broke down to what you said, 70-30, right?
Yeah.
It could be that most of the male population had answered their questions, and they're bigger than the female population, right?
Yeah.
There would still be that mass percentage of people that said no would be the female population. You hear me? Mm-hmm. So I don't think they went as far as to figure out who's, because they probably didn't ask.
Yeah, that's important. Like, to me, like, in terms of not my own what I think is right or wrong, more so from, like, the government and how it's supposed to work. Like, the people in Texas should really, like, the decision should reflect what the people in Texas want. That's all I'm saying. Like, say 75% of the people in Texas are against that, then if you truly believe in the whole republic and the conservative America, then as a politician, that should never happen, because you are supposed to be a reflection of the people. And if you're not reflecting what the people want, then you shouldn't be in government.
I mean, I don't know exactly how that works, because there was a situation like a few months ago where I forgot what state it was, but they figured out that slavery was still technically legal in that state. They didn't take it out of their.
Which state?
I forgot which it was, and there was a big group of people that all signed a petition to not have the bill changed. Like, there's no slaves in the state, obviously, but just to not have the bill changed. And they changed it anyway, obviously, just because it's against human rights at this point. Mm-hmm. But if they was like, oh, well, 74% of the population here wants this bill to stay, you feel me? They can't now change it because they want it. You feel me? Yeah. That's when it'll become troublesome.
But with the slavery thing, you said a big portion. Wasn't like 85%, like whatever state that was. I would assume if you went around and asked all the people, like 85% of them would be like, "Nigga, slavery not okay."
Yeah, that's facts.
Well, 15% might say it's okay, but like you're the minority. So unfortunately, because it's a republic, we can't go with what you want. And that's for you or against you. You gotta always remember that. For instance, is an example where it worked for us. There's also examples where it might work against us. But if
I think what you're trying to say is like you pick the bone not with the state but with federal law, right?
No, I think
because like the state is like they're like, hey man, the government allows me to make abortion illegal if I so be. Mm-hmm. The federal government allows me to, so therefore the republic votes that hey, abortion should be illegal.
No, I'm saying.
And you should have to go at the federal government and be like, hey man, like it's pretty fucked up that states are still allowed to determine whether abortion is illegal or not. Why don't you just make it so it's legal in the entire United States?
No, I think the bone.
States don't even get the option.
I think that's true because if majority of people in the U.S. of America don't want that to pass, then you could make the argument that the state shouldn't have the power to do it just because the people in that state want it. That's the same. I think that's the argument who has power, who has control. But I wasn't even thinking that big. But you're 100% right. I was thinking
clearly there's some people in Texas that do want it.
Yeah.
Because a politician's not going to do it if they think they're not going to get voted.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
They're going to do it if they think their masses want.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out. If the people in Texas actually want that. Because if the people in Texas actually want that, if you don't like that, then your best option is to leave Texas.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't agree with the state doesn't there's certain cultures and states that just wouldn't agree with us. So we probably wouldn't move there full time.
You also have to look at the demographic of the area because that's the Bible Belt right there.
What is the Bible Belt? What states?
It's like both.
The South?
Yeah, it's like right under Virginia, and they the more southern states, but
Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, and Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky.
And how does anyone know? I don't want to say something wrong. I'm not educated on it. How does that law disagree with the Bible? I'm not sure.
Abortion.
How does that go against the Bible?
You're not supposed to abort a child.
Does the Bible say that?
Yes.
Don't abort a child?
Well, it's killing someone.
They believe the moment of conception.
Oh, so they think that law goes against their commandment.
I'm not saying that's the whole base of the reason, but in those areas they usually lead with that first.
I'm curious. I'm trying to get in their mind. So that's what they think. So why those be the same groups who are all for war?
But to them, you can kill for God and country.
See, no, and what's funny? J. Cole said that in a song once. He was standing in the lobby, right? And you remember that song? He said that on the news it popped up that Bin Laden's been killed, and everyone started cheering. But he said he thought to himself he was confused because this is the land of thou shalt not kill. So if you truly believe that, Jesus says, turn the other cheek. So if you say you are the Bible Belt, if you truly believe in what this book says, you can't ignore some things when it goes with what you want. You know what I'm saying?
I think
you're a real Christian.
I think hypocrisy is a big part of religion.
The biggest.
Yeah, because you have people that will sin all week, but because they go to church on Sunday, they feel cleansed, rather than living with purpose all week. You feel me? But Kiki, I'm curious to hear your opinion on this whole abortion thing. Do you feel like?
I mean, I'm a woman, so for me personally, it just didn't make sense that all men made the decision on a woman's issue. I just feel like once we stop putting old white men that are about to die within the next 5 to 10 years in position, I feel like the world would be a better place. Because that's truthfully Why are we still relying on people that won't be here within the next 10 years?
You also have to think about the population too. You have more modern people in society now than you do the old school.
Definitely do.
But you have the head of the society being the old school leaders, like, and having old school thoughts and like the way they do things. Like, if these politicians are freaking 60, 70 years old, the world they view is completely different than even 40 and 50-year-olds. You feel me? Like, it's a completely different world. So
they're like 30 years behind.
I think in order to make the best decision possible, there has to be just a mix of like generations, opinions. Like, I think like sometimes in America,
fucking diverse at this point.
In America, unfortunately, I think our opinions aren't very diverse. We usually have like we think in terms of like a coin flip. America's thinking is very heads or tail.
Yeah.
We don't think
come,
like
first fucking serve.
We don't think in a sense of like, no, heads plus tails equals this new thing that we should all come together and decide on. It's like either
Heads
you like something
first,
or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, whoa, the world's not black and white; it's gray.
Yeah.
You know.
And I would be curious as to what even like would have, like, most laws and legislatures that are passed are to better something, right? Well, that's the general idea behind it. It's like, oh, we made marijuana legal for recreation in the state because we see a lot of people being arrested for it. Something that's like a B-class drug.
Net positive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's usually for the greater good. Yeah. What is this doing for the people of Texas? Was there a max influx of just a bunch of people getting abortions and people dying from it? Was there a bunch of malpractices? Like, what was the issue that this is supposed to be solving? Yeah. Or was there no issue and people are now including their personal beliefs and what they think other people should be doing? And especially if you're a male. And I saw a video, it was like a girl talking, and she said if a fetus is considered a child at 6 weeks, then she said the women who were pregnant during the pandemic should have got an extra check for a child. If the fetus after 6 weeks is considered a baby, then these women should have welfare while they're pregnant if they're single. Okay. She said they should be able to get tax breaks.
And where's this
the same way?
Where's this lady from?
Chris, what's the video? I don't know.
Like, can you pull that up? You could try and pull it up. What is the approval rate in Texas?
No, but wait, you asking what the lady from the video made?
She was from Texas, if you know.
No, she in the video she's just saying things.
She's just talking.
Yeah, okay. She's saying like, if these things were, if this is a baby, then all these benefits, just like as soon as she's pregnant, father's on child support if he doesn't want to be a part of the life. As soon as she's pregnant, she gets a tax break. As soon as she's pregnant, she gets that welfare. As soon as she's pregnant, she gets that extra check that people got. What was it, like $1,800 child? Fetus. It's a child, heartbeat. $1,800.
And you know what's crazy to me? Like, but to Jason's point, if you want to make this a federal issue, then America should have one standpoint on it. But I think America's given that power to states. So if it's a state issue, then what that lady said, every state that agrees with her, that should be legal in. Like, I should be able to go to New Jersey if a single girl is pregnant. She should be able to go to New Jersey, stay long, get money. But say in Texas, she shouldn't have been able to because people in Texas don't agree with that. But people in New Jersey do.
No, but her statement is the people that are making this law says that the baby can't, the fetus can't be aborted because it's now a baby. So in Texas, if you have a baby, you get those things.
So in Texas, is where you actually get that stuff. Yeah,
if it's you get those things everywhere as a woman, if you're a woman and you're pregnant. But she's saying since that's a thing in Texas, like as soon as I give birth, I would get all these things. So since it's a child already in my stomach, give me those things.
So Texas should be the one doing those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, 100%.
And I definitely agree with that.
Can I find anything?
Yeah, it was just like
I'm just trying to find like if anyone's looking at what's the approval rate of that in Texas. Like, does anyone like what if he looks it up and it says 75% of people in Texas disagree with this? Then it's like, well, why was it passed? You know what I mean? But if he looks it up and it says even if it's 55% of people in Texas, it's like, that's what this is. This is what this republic's supposed to be about, you know?
I don't like I said, I don't necessarily know how that works because even with that whole bill that Oregon passed, that all drugs are recreationally useful.
Did people in Oregon agree with that?
Most of people said no.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to me, I shouldn't pass.
But like I said, I don't know how that
But
process
did it go?
works.
Because like in Jersey, we voted for.
Yeah.
So was it that like that in Oregon?
Yeah.
So then no, then that means they agreed with it. Then
no,
if they voted for it and it passed, that means they agreed with it.
But the thing was, they were doing it because there was an influx of people being arrested for drugs in Oregon.
So they agreed.
So
with it.
they felt like but that's what I'm saying. They make the rules though. We put them in position.
I'm saying the people in Oregon, they voted yes. Like they voted yes for this.
For abortion?
No, the drugs.
No. They most of the people in Oregon didn't want it.
What did they vote? What was the voting for?
This is what I'm saying. Whenever they came up with the bill, right? I don't think they did a vote for it. I think they passed something. So they asked people who agreed and who didn't agree. Most people disagreed.
Yeah.
And then the bill was still passed. That's what I'm saying. I don't
know.
Even though you saying it like that in your head, I don't think it works like that at all.
I know. I'm saying no. Remember, I said we did that. I know we did that in Jersey. I asked you, did they do that there too? You said yeah.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying, even though you're saying that you feel like the people make those decisions and so it shouldn't be passed.
No, I'm asking. Remember in Jersey we voted?
I don't know if they did that.
That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know. Yeah.
They voted.
Yeah, I'm asking.
No, I know that.
Did they do the same thing in Oregon?
I don't know.
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
But most of the people disagreed with it.
Yeah.
And it was still passed.
So they didn't put it up for vote.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I don't think it.
I think they did.
Yeah, I don't think it works like that. You feel me? Like even if the people disagree with it, if it's something that they can get past, they can still just like when most of the people didn't want them freaking traffic lights that was giving people tickets. It got passed anyway. It's not like if they sent that to people's house, like, hey, should you be able to go through a red light with no cop around and take a picture of your license plate and you get a ticket? Most people voted no. But that should still happen. You feel me? So I don't think it matters.
And that's so interesting because there's like a thing. So like the way you word things. So if you were to write to somebody, would you want, let's say, would you want that if someone ran a red light and hit someone and killed for them but got away and no cop was there to see it, would you want a camera to take a picture of their license plate? What would people say?
But I don't think they put a situation
but
like that.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
So like I think that's why a republic's useful. I think with something because it's like you vote people in that you expect to make the best decisions, right? And now with those Texas governors or anything, you have to ask yourself, like, I wonder what do people in Texas think? Because it's like, if the people didn't want that, don't like it, like, yeah, the traffic light thing, people might not even understand what it's there for. But like, say with the abortion thing, I think that's more like, do the people want it or not?
But that's what I'm saying. I think once you put the people into position, it's clips. Because
once you vote people
most of the people, I remember this being an issue when I was in school. Yeah. Most of the teachers that complained about Chris Christie were all people that voted for Chris Christie because of the things that he was preaching about education reform. Once he got there, he flipped the script. But if he sent the thing out and said, hey, teachers, do you want this? Obviously, they didn't want it. But a lot of those people voted for him. So after the fact, they already put him off. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Most of the teachers didn't want the things that he was doing because it was taking away from teacher salaries who already didn't make a lot of money. It was taking out their 401ks, taking out their benefits. So he was doing a lot of things to hurt teachers in New Jersey. And a lot of teachers put him in position because of things that he said that he was going to do. Just like within Texas, a lot of people probably going to put these people off because they felt like they're going to make, if they're saying, oh, we're going to, deal more with human rights and stuff like that. This could be a part of the human rights thing that they were pushing. But because it sounded good, you feel me? And these people already put them in office, it might not matter. Yeah. Once they're there, because they got voted in. But
I know, like in general, it makes sense. But I know with abortion, that's like every politician has to state their views on abortion. That's like the one thing that people, like, not people, America takes very serious. Like, how do you feel about abortion? Like, I think every president has to state that. So if they voted 10 people in who all stated they were against it, or 7 out of the 10 got voted in that were against it, then like it's almost like, what do you expect?
That question might come up in like a.
Did you find anything?
Yeah, I got it. All right. So in Texas, 48% of all voters, 48% of all voters support the abortion after 6 weeks.
Fucking, abortion after that's 6 weeks. Close.
It's 51% men and 46% of women.
What a, you know how they finesse it? You know how they finesse it too, bro? I learned this in class. So what they do, see how that close that is? So technically it shouldn't pass. They do like the districts. How like certain districts and states get certain amount of votes. So like depending on how that 48% is distributed, something like that could still get the right people in power to pass the right thing. So that is close, bro. So like in my opinion, being if we're truly for the people, it shouldn't be a law. If 51% don't want it, it shouldn't be a law.
It should not.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. 10% of voters, I guess, didn't vote. So 48% of voters agree with it and support it. 42% oppose it.
Oh.
Wait, 42% oppose it.
Oppose it. And then there's 10% that just aren't.
And 48% is with it.
Yeah.
So 40% of people want it. And 40% of people don't.
40% want it, 42%.
Oh, so then see it gets passed. See then, do I think it's right? No, I think that women should have the freedom. But according to how the government's supposed to work, then it's right. The right outcome happened based on what the voters wanted, but it's not something that us in the North, in the West Coast, we don't agree with.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If we go off of that basis, you run the risk of things like this slipping through the cracks. So you put the people in position, but once they're in position, it's kind of out of your power.
But to Texas, they put the right people in position.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, 40% agreed with it.
No, that's what I'm saying though. These are the people. What if?
Oh, that's not the vote. That's a poll.
Yeah.
Poll, yeah.
People.
Yeah.
That's and that's people voting in a poll.
Yeah.
So that's not the whole population. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's a sample size of what the 100% is.
Because with statistics at a certain sample size, you can pretty much get a feel by how the population feels. Like if it's like 100 people, it's like what the okay. But if they ask 10,000 people, it's like okay.
I mean, 10,000 versus the million of people.
That's how they do it, bro. Statistics and shit.
Still,
because let's be realistic. You're not gonna get a response. Like, come on. But if you get a response back from 10,000, you can use that as like you can use that to infer what the bigger population will want or do.
I disagree. I agree with it numbers wise, but I disagree with that.
Yeah, I think if I had to get a general feel, I feel like America as a whole would be for it. Would be for that. Let women do what they want to do as a whole. Yeah. But when you go to certain states, I think the people in those states have a different view.
First off, things that don't affect men, they shouldn't even have a vote in it.
That's how.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, right? That's why I'm saying, like, I agree, but I definitely disagree.
Yeah.
Because if you're with a woman, right, and you get her pregnant, and she decides to go have an abortion, you as a man should not be like, all right, like we should be able to put a law in place where they can't just get rid of our babies. It's her choice.
I was about to disagree with you on.
Why?
If I really wanted, like, say you're about to have a kid.
Why do you think men should be able to vote on that?
Because I think once you start chopping up, like, oh, men can vote on this, women can't vote on this. I think
no.
Be like, yo, everybody can vote on everything.
Because Asante, look at it from a different perspective.
Once you start like segregating who can vote on things,
I'm just talking about things that has to do with what. There's nothing that has to do with human rights that is specific to males like
but
that.
But it takes two, like, in terms of a baby, bro.
So that one thing is the only thing. It's not like that's something that breaks up into other sample sizes.
Yeah.
You feel me? Abortion has strictly to do with women, and that's it. There's nothing that men can do or ever attain that would be on the level of that. Right. It's not like, oh, women, do you want men should be vasectomies?
We should outlaw circumcision, and women can't vote on that law at all.
I just disagree with that because I could.
Some mothers would come out and say, like, no, I think if I have a son, I should be able to decide if it's for health purposes. I should be able to have him circumcised. It's my child. But I should be able to vote on this. Vote on this if I could have a son. You know, that would be the argument.
You being a male, whether it's passed or not, you still, as a father, would if my child's underage, you still direct your child to do whatever. You feel me? They're under you. No. So regardless of the fact, what I'm saying is like, I don't see how that's a positive outcome in having a male influence in that decision.
Yeah,
if it's not detrimental to women.
Hold on, Santi.
Because it affects both of us.
I want to move on, but I do want to move on because I feel like we've been talking about it for a minute. But at the same time, bro, yeah, I'm against the abortion. Like, okay, you have to get in. Like Texas tripped out. Texas tripped out. But to say that a man has absolutely no say in what's gonna happen to his kid, I have to disagree on. But I think what Texas did wasn't right. Because, like, if I'm about to have my only son and, like, I know where I am right now in my life, I'll say, yo, give me the kid. You go away. I'll take care of it 100%. You can do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
For her to still be like, no, he's done. He's gone. I would feel some type of way, me personally. But for Texas to be like, oh, you got to do it. Like,
Right.
come on, man.
Okay,
You know?
what that law didn't protect that though, because the woman can still do what she wants to do regardless. So that isn't in jeopardy
But
with this.
I'm off the law. Like I'm separating the two things.
I'm just saying though that what you just same exact sample that you just said.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's no law protecting that
But
regardless.
I'm separating the law. I'm just talking about how you strictly said the man has no say.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the man has no say on that law on abortion, because what you can tell a girl, I don't want you to abort my baby.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it does not matter what you say, whether there's a law in place, whether there's not.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You having a say in it, it doesn't really have anything to do with anything, because the girl can still make the decision. She can decide to leave Texas in her 4th week and still go get an abortion.
Then that's what she has to do.
You feel me? So that's what I'm saying is I don't think that she's not obligated to stay in the state. She can get it wherever she wants.
That's even more interesting. Then that's where that's interesting. You know. I think,
So what does a male deciding on that have to do? Like I said, if you're a father, if it's an underage child, you're still going to be able to make the decision for your child. If the kid is over 18, guess what? By law, they're over 18. Your kid could turn 18 and say, I want to be a sex worker. You can't place a law in place to making sure that your child can't do that. It doesn't matter.
But we also have to realize too, even though that's an ideal, it's just not how things work. Because at the end of the day, we still, it would be cool if, say, for instance, black people, we're like, anything that affects black people, only we should decide what we want from it. Yeah, that sounds good, but remember, we live with order and structure.
But that's something that has a bunch of different, we could say
Bro,
black people can't get stuck in traffic, some stupid shit like that.
No, we're not saying that.
But I'm saying with abortion, it's very one-sided. But you can use that and you can speculate on different things.
Listen. I'm saying that's an ideal, but we also have to accept the fact it just doesn't work.
I know that. I'm
so
speaking. I've accepted that fact.
So the same way.
I'm speaking about the one thing.
Then it's the same concept though. If you could say only one group can only make decisions about things.
I'm not saying one group. I'm saying on abortion, women should be able to make their own decisions on abortion. That's it. Yeah. You don't have to go, well, we have to bring this into this and we have to, because no, it doesn't work like that.
Yes, it is. That's exactly how it works. That's what I'm saying, but that's the thing.
Huh?
You're talking about voting, right?
Yeah, bro. Those ideals,
voting on laws.
No, voting on abortion, the one law.
It's in a law. It's just
yes.
Yeah. I don't think we can't as a society, we can't do that. It's an ideal.
I get where you're at. Listen,
yeah.
I'm fine with abortion.
Listen, you guys are talking about what is, and I know that what is, and there's a bunch of problems in what is right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is what my ideal is. It is an idea, and
it's an idea.
There's nothing that should be any pushback on that idea. What the fuck do we have to say?
There's no pushback. The only thing is
that's a pushback.
No, it's not. It's no. I think
can't give you pushback. I disagree with you.
No, I'm not saying with my idea. I'm saying is the idea of males having to have an opinion on that. You can have your opinion, but you actually being able to vote and pass a law through with nothing that has to do with you.
No.
That's a problem.
The only reason I disagree with that, and I disagree with it for the same reason Jay said, you can't start doing that. You can't start because then what if
you're looking at other laws though?
What if guys were like this?
What ifs?
You can look at it from the other side.
That's the thing. What ifs?
You can be like, yes. What if I get a girl pregnant, that affects me. I should be able to vote and decide whether or not abortion. I'm pro-abortion. I want girls to get abortion. I don't want to get stuck in being no father to a kid. You flip it the other way, and if it was men being pro-abortion, and when we're out being oh my god, if I get pregnant, there's gonna come abort my baby.
But I understand that. But you as a guy,
that affects them.
You can push for the law and just like you said, be pro-abortion, all that good shit, right? Well, not good shit, but you could be pro all of that stuff. But if the girl still decides to keep the baby, guess what? That's what we're not looking at the bottom line here. We're talking about all these what is. We're talking about what is. I know what is.
Yeah.
I know how it can stream into other things. I'm just saying specifically. Yeah. Just like how you said you feel like the people.
But the bottom line of reproducing, it takes two.
It does take two.
100%.
It's not.
Two people. I think I'm not in the.
I just personally feel like, sorry to cut y'all off, but I just personally feel like The panel of all men is just the problem. That's the problem. It's the panel of all men instead of having some type of woman influence, some type of person with a
and exactly that
uterus.
That's why I said a mix of ideas. I think Ashanti's extreme also doesn't. I think both extremes don't work. I think there has to be a mix in the middle. To say all
when
men,
it comes down to a situation like that,
all right, even if it's 50-50, right?
I don't feel like it even needs to be 50-50.
Just a mix.
In a situation like that, it needs to be a mix, or it needs to be at least in a situation like this, it needs to be at least.
I think to say it's
majority female, but what I'm saying is in that sample size, the guys,
majority women.
Women, sorry.
Thank you.
I know that's right, sister. But what I'm saying is, even in that sample size, a guy's opinion on that, when I said it doesn't matter, obviously everyone's opinion matters to them.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, at the bottom line, you could be pro-abortion, against abortion, no matter what you are. If the law is allowing people to get abortions at any point, mind you, this is still 6 weeks. If she figures out exactly, there's nothing you can do as a male to stop that. A lot of males will say pro-abortion.
No, I don't want you to give this baby up. Well, guess what? I'm going to give this baby up. I'm going to
like. There's nothing you can if a guy said to a girl, "I want you to have this baby," right?
You know what's crazy? Holy, I'm not and crazy forever that. But I guess, what if someone brought that to Texas as the argument? Like what you're saying, what she just said, like mad girls were sitting down, and I'm being no advocate. Like someone was sitting down and was like, "Yo, I didn't want to get the baby aborted, but she went and did it anyway." And now Texas is like, well, now you can't do that.
What?
Now in Texas, technically a girl in Texas can't go do that now.
She can.
She'd have to leave the state.
Before 6 weeks?
At least, but you know what's crazy? It puts up a bet. But he said most women don't know until after, right?
Yeah, but that's what...
You just need to go get an abortion.
With the doctors?
This is so confusing, bro. And this is why
it's not confusing. It's the fact that they put that shit for 6 weeks. Like, they trapped you. Like, they basically, like, that was a trap. Like,
And that's why in Texas, like I said before when I started this conversation.
It's not going to take them until 7 weeks, so let's give them 6 weeks.
And that's why...
They have no other choice.
And that's when we started the conversation. I said, yo, if you believe that... This is why. Because every situation is so unique. For you as a government to say, no, you have to do what we say, I think you're wrong. Let people make their own decisions. That decision should between the two couples that are involved in raising that child should be the ones making that decision. It shouldn't be the government saying, no, you have to do this.
Or you can't do
it should be, hey, me and you are going to sit down, we're going to figure out what we're going to do, and hey, together we're going to make this decision, and whatever decision we make, we're going to stick to it.
My thing is just that the basis in actual reality, once you insert your seed into a woman, you technically your job's done, right? Now what requires is the woman's womb.
No.
Listen to what I'm saying, Chris.
I heard you.
Scientifically.
I heard you clearly. I heard you clearly.
I'm not talking about parenting. For the process of pregnancy to work, once the male ejaculates, his process is over with. He doesn't have to reinsert his penis to give it a booster shot. You feel me? So I'm saying that the process of pregnancy, I'm not talking about parenting or anything or post-birth.
Yes, I understand.
Once the male does that, his job is done with, which means it's out of his hands. Which means even if I love a girl, if I'm married to someone, if they decide, hey, I don't want this kid right now, they can get rid of it. The actual issue is out of your hands. So why are you able to vote for a decision that will always be out of your hands? It will always be. No matter what's in place, it will always be out of your hands. Yeah. That's my main premise for my argument. No matter what. 6 weeks, I can't do it in Texas, I'm going to Seattle. You feel me? Like, it doesn't matter. Because it's always out of your hands. If she wants to have the baby, she'll have the baby. If she doesn't, then she doesn't. So with that being said, why, like she said, there's a full panel of males making a decision that regardless of whatever the decision is, still is out of their hands.
Yeah, it's strange because if they are going the religious route, it's like they know it's happening somewhere in the country.
So can you even
not in my state, not in these borders,
and that's where even that when it boils down to it all, if you only look at it at face value, and again, I think I said this 100 times, repeat again, I obviously disagree with it. I think everyone should be able to do what they want. But if you look at it at the base level, technically in the state of Texas, 4 men in a meeting room actually didn't make the decision. Because if you break it down even further, the people of Texas, men, women, black, white, Asian, Chinese, the people of Texas voted for these people to be in the power and make decisions for us. So this is what the people of if like based on what his stat is, if the people of Texas wanted it, technically us outside of Texas shouldn't even have an opinion on it. We should have our opinion, boom, boom, boom. That's it. We don't live in Texas. I'm not voting for their governors. I'm not voting for their laws. But in my state of Jersey, where I do have a power to vote, and at my federal government level where I have a power to vote, if the federal government says it's not a federal problem, it's a state to state, in New Jersey, it's not going to happen on my watch. That's it. In Texas, I have what Texas wants to do is what they're going to do. Now here in Jersey, we can all say as a group, we disagree with that. We respect my sisters, my cousins, my daughters. Let them do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? I hope they have enough sense to sit down with the man involved and talk it through and they come to a decision as a group. But my daughters, my sisters, my mothers, my aunts, they can do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like for like the country on Twitter coming at Texas so crazy, and it's like, did you guys even ask if that's what the people of Texas wanted? Because we just did that and we found out that is actually what the people of Texas wanted. So it's like, okay.
The people that voted.
Yeah, the people that voted. The people that in Texas voted.
We didn't figure out how many people voted.
That's like us saying, that's like now, but then the reason I don't like that, and I know you're just playing devil, because the same thing is like, okay, we voted for Biden and president. You saw what they did to the Capitol. That's the same thought process. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, oh, they stole. Like, no, bro. Whatever the vote is, if it's for us, if it's against us, we just have to accept it.
You have to respect it.
You gotta respect the results.
Like I said, I'm speaking obviously an idea, but this is my idea, and that's what I feel. It's because we, at the end of the day, it's always going to be out of our hands. I just think it's a pride thing that's like, all right, we can put this law into place that can prevent these things from happening, but it still won't. I promise it won't, because there's still going to be an influx of people, bro. If I'm a doctor, right, and I decide that I think that, all right, then I could maybe fudge the records a little bit, and I can do this even though she's 7 weeks. You know,
I think
people are gonna do shit like that, like stuff like that. It boils down to the person.
I think I saw a stat too that said when laws pass like this, the rate of abortion actually goes up. Because if you say you give someone, and I'm just fantasizing now, say you give someone 10 weeks to make a decision, they have 10 weeks to be like, okay, like, no, I want to keep it. You leave more room for that. The people who win 5 weeks would have been like, I want to do it. Now the fact that they have 10 weeks to think about it, actually have a full week. But now the people who are going to do it at 5, now they're like, deadline, I have no choice. It's like the same psychological concept when you tell someone the sale ends in a week. It's the same thing. Like, there's a rush to go buy it. Or if you tell someone, hey, this sells all month, like, I'll come back when I have time. But now with abortion, it's like, yo, I have to get this abortion now, or I'm with this baby forever. There's going to be people who think like that and rush to do it more. So I'm pretty sure I saw a stat that the rate of abortion actually goes up. So it's like, this is more so like
That makes sense.
This is more so like what's it called? Like, where you can kind of look good, like, hey, we're conservatives, we're against abortion. But if you actually wanted less abortions to happen, what would you actually do? There's probably a whole other course of action of what you would actually do. Like, maybe, hey, better sex education and teach kids hey, sex is pleasurable. But if you're 12 years old having sex and you get pregnant, just know you can't have a baby. And, they're going to give you the egg and the baby to take care of. More and more sex education is how you lower abortion than a forceful law. Because human nature is like, when you tell me I can't do something, I want to do it even more. So I don't know. But they got it.
You don't need sex education.
To each its own. Y'all be safe out there. We're moving on to Song of the Week. Song of the Week this week is a local artist. Goes by the name of Camp Out. It's off his new EP, Camping Volume 1. This is Time and Patience. We'll be back.
2 tones on that beat, boy.
Let's go. This is some time and patience. Don't call me bro, it's not related. She wants some conversation. I touch any emoji, she kinda hit it. Yeah, I'm kinda faded. I feel like bitch on cause I'm finally famous. I'm finally rich. I just be here for existence. I'm in the 4 and 6. She only hit me on the weekends. I think she my mistress. I be hanging with the misfit tree. that bitch on cause I'm finally famous. I'm finally rich. I just be here to existence.
That was your song of the week. Once again, that was Camp Out, Time and Patience. Great project. Interview coming out soon. Definitely look out for that. Got to interview him and GQ 2 times yesterday. So, very good interview. Can't wait for that to drop. And Camping Volume 1, go get that now. Chris, Papi Café,
Papi Café, tú sabes.
back from vacay.
Ya tú sabes.
You came back with some revelations, some thoughts.
Some thoughts, some contemplations, revelations, from meditation.
All right, we're not rapping. Let's
I'm
get
just
it.
saying. So,
Chris will lay out a whole 16.
at a hypothetical for the group that I asked him earlier that we're going to share with you guys. I wrote it down because I said a whole lot before. So would you prefer living in an economically undeveloped country, a third world country, but you live in constant peace and serenity and mental clarity, all that, or in a economic thriving country, a modern country, a first world country, but you have to deal with all the anxiety and depression and that comes with that? What are your thoughts?
Well, first I think you should give a little background on what
Background.
made you come up with this question.
Okay, so I was driving through the country of DR, and I had beautiful views. Everything was green, mountains, skies were clear. Everything was beautiful. The air was fresh. The food was fresh. Everything from a farm. It was just beautiful. But they didn't have the state-of-the-art gym that we can drive 5 minutes to. They didn't have a grocery store with, quinoa flakes and, organic chickpeas that you could just push something down and grab, But the people there, there's an ancient belief in, what Eastern culture that true happiness is when someone learns to stop wanting. Like when you stop having wants and needs, like when you can let that go. And I kind of felt that out there because it was like, what do you need? Like, you don't need a gym. It's like, okay, you're gonna go get your food from the farm. You're gonna come back. You have this beautiful serenity, fresh air. You're with your family, and it's more dependent on the community because it's not just a quick, walk to the gym or it's not a quick, just call a cop. It's like, no, you have to depend on the people around you for things to be done. So closer family. And humans are made on relationships. So closer community, closer relationships, more dependent on your neighbor, just constant peace, fresh air. And then you come back here and it's like, I got these tall buildings, can't even really see the stars in the sky from all the smog. People you really don't need your neighbor. You kind of just dependent. So it's like some people don't even say hi to people.
Yeah.
You might stay inside and not say hi to the person next door or not, really need anything from anyone. You could just be a loner in society, get away with it, and no one would know something. But you can get what you want to eat when you want it, how you want it. You can go to get a workout when you want it, how you want it. Anything you want. Fresh water is always clean house. Sanitation gone at just a little click of a button. And it's like you can go back and forth with the pros and cons of both. I feel like I'm doing it already, but what would you prefer and what comes with that?
I feel like with anything modern, you're always gonna have its drawbacks, but then you do have its pros. So living over here, you do have more of a society that runs. I don't want to say functional as in there's no knock to DR or any underdeveloped countries or anything like that, but it's just things are you can hop on a subway system, you can do this, you can do that, so everything's more convenient and it's easier to get and do. But when you do live in those other areas, I feel like you have it's quaint, it's you can, I feel like that's solace. You feel me? You go out there, you can think, you can be in nice weather, you can, I don't know, there's so many different things to get. What do you think,
There's so much to do, bro. There's so much. I think just...
And me personally, I'm all for mental health. Anything that I can find happiness. I guess not find it, but anything that brings me happiness, I'm all for. Being where I am now, I guess, like, and this, like you called it, economically thriving place. It's not the greatest, because like you said, it's like, yeah, we have these tall buildings, but they block the stars. It's like a bunch of modern things, I guess, that draw us away from, I guess, what's important. And then that's where we lose our happiness. That's where we lose ourselves, or whatever the case may be. So I think personally, I'd prefer third world country, where I'm at peace with the ones that I love.
If I could have it where, you know, I could pick up all the people I care about and move to a place like that, I think I could. But I think me removing myself from that environment, because I think there's a reason why a lot of times people, you know, put in a lot of work, like build their foundation, and then like once they're done, they're like, all right, now it's time, and they go to those areas where it's, you know, nicer weather and you can just relax, and it's like you don't got to worry about a phone or an email or anything like that. It's just you start. I feel like those are things of the flesh, right? And if you want to get biblical about it, the more you stray away from the flesh, the more godly you become. So like, I feel like as you mature, you start getting older, you stop needing certain things. Like, we don't have to go out and do things that we had to do when we were teenagers. Just like when we're 30 and 35, we won't have to do things that we're doing now. And you just you could become more removed from those type of things, you know? And in my opinion, I do think that stuff brings more happiness, because if you can be around people that you love, you can always have fresh produce, you can have nice weather, you can have, you know, running water. It may not be the hottest water, it may not be, you know, a Brita filter on the water or anything like that, but you have things that you can have around you that can keep you alive, keep you happy, keep you healthy. I do think it's that's important. But at the same time, it's like whenever I go camping, I always I'm like, damn, I wish I could watch TV before I go to sleep. Like, you know, like it's just,
it's like something that you gotta get used to. Just like you never knew that you wanted to watch TV until you started watching TV.
And that's the thing too. Like, I was thinking, like, even being out there, you see some people with phones. So I think that even like having social media starts to create wants that you might not have had before. So like when I'm thinking of growing up like this, I'm also thinking even like I said before in other cultures, where you build up a certain amount of success and you kind of just leave society, where you're just in peace. There's no, like, I deleted my social media while I was out there. Like, I was off my phone. It was like, wow, I don't have to worry about anything. Like, I don't have to, it's just me just.
Remember how we were younger and we were content with paintball and pinball and solitaire?
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like we were content with the bare minimum because we didn't know anything about FaceTime and iPhones and, like, I guess, you know, certain things like that. So I guess that takes in a token of us just relearning habits of just, like, dropping things that we're used to.
Yeah. Because, like, as much as it's enjoyable to, like, you know, talk to people, interact with them on social media and all that stuff, if I was in a nicer area where I didn't have a phone, but I could walk down the street, see you, walk down the street, see Chris, but like, yo, get ready, 7 o'clock, we're all going to get drinks, we're going to go by the beach, we're going to go chill, we're going to do whatever. You feel me? Like, that's like, I would rather that, you feel me? Because I have everything I need here. Like, that's the thing, is like, when the more I feel like we gain, the more fulfillment we needed.
And even to your point, so in this society that I'm thinking about, it's like you could do all those things and not have to pay for it. Like, in our society, to enjoy those things, you have to be like, to go on the beach, you got to pay to get on the beach. To get all the food and liquor, you have to pay for all of it. What if it was, yo, we don't have to pay for the beach.
Just get up and go.
The beach is right there.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I don't have to go to the grocery store and buy mangoes because Nikita has mangoes and I might have corn.
And I can go.
Or I might have whatever, bananas, coconuts. I'll just give her some of my coconuts. She give me some of her mangoes. Like, this is a society I'm thinking about in my head.
Yeah,
I know.
I do think that me being in a society like that would probably cultivate the best version of myself. You feel me? Because you have a lot of time to do things, one. Two, just becoming like, when you start caring for things outside of yourself, like right now we care for things outside of ourselves, but I think it's more so to get our placement in the world. Like, You have a job. You have a job. I have a job. You have a job. We care about our job, but we care about our job because we have to, and we have to get money from it, and we have to get that money because we have to live somewhere, and we have to live somewhere so we're not homeless, and we have to get money to provide food and all these other things. But like, the more you start stripping away those things and those layers, you see how superficial those things are. And like, if you could just be in a quaint area in a society, you know, like people you care about, everything is resourceful. You can really put time into like, all right, I'm gonna create a whole landscape to where I can feed myself, and I can take care of the land. The land take care of me. It's taking care of me. That's important. That unlocks like a different type of thing in you. And when you can disconnect with the world and not care about all the political or like the nonsense that's going on in the world, and you can just worry about the right now. Like, I feel like even like being like married or being like in a couple, and you being in a situation like that, like, you guys would learn more about yourself. You would be able to like, all right, like, I'm about to go on a little 5-mile hike. Like, I'll see you later. Like, you can still spend time apart. You don't have to always be all up on each other, but it'll be other things. Like, now a birthday comes up, you have to do something different than going to a mall the day of and buying something expensive. You have to think about what this person like, yo, I learned this trade. I learned how to make candles. I made a whole a series of scents for you. Try these out. Or I did this or I did that. Like, you feel me? It's just different things. So I feel like it'll unlock things that are kind of like when you're looking at like Darwinism and shit like that. Like, once you stop needing something, you don't use it anymore. So it's like there's organs that we have that, like a kidney, we have 2 because we needed 2 kidneys before, but you can live with 1 now. Yep. Because like our diets have changed. So things start becoming obsolete. So when I feel like if you're in an environment like that, you start to, you know, bring some of those things up that you used to, you know, have as a human, like go and forage and do all that fun shit. So me personally, I would just miss like technology, because I do really enjoy technology, like watching a movie and stuff like that. But but yeah, I do think living in a society like that might be like, I feel like people in those areas probably live longer, you know? A lot of the things that we eat and that everything's for convenience. It's like, oh damn, I can't go home and cook. Let me grab this burger real quick. Let me do everything's convenient. So it's like, when it's like, no, I have to get up in the morning because I have to go and fish. Right. So it's like, yeah, and I have to walk 5 miles so I can go and fish. And so that 5 miles is to catch a fish. The fish is so I can fucking eat later today so I don't die. Okay. You feel me? So it's like, that's health right there. That's on that walk. You might be able to think, you know, get some time off, whatever. Mm-hmm. The fishing, that's therapeutic. That's therapy right there. And then catching it is like accomplishment, and then you get nourishment from the actual thing. So I do think that's a society more so to cultivate your best self. I will say that. So I'll say that. I'll definitely choose that. But I'm gonna miss my Netflix and all that stuff.
Interesting. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking you guys are some first generation ass motherfuckers. I'm not leaving the modern world. I'm not living on
I think
third country.
The only way I would do it,
I'm on heat and AC.
Oh god.
I would do it the way that the Eastern culture does it, like that religion. Like,
I feel you guys. There is a part of me that definitely thinks.
Jace is the most outdoorsy person I know, so he's capping.
Every time I do go somewhere, I'm like, man, this is like chill, man. Like, you know, you're just hanging out. It's like beauty. Like, you're in paradise. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's a hard.
I would only do it.
Yeah.
No, what did I say?
I would rather be born here and then get the chance to like go.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's an easier transition than the other way.
Yeah.
Like, you grow up there and then you're like, I'm gonna go to the big city. Yeah. It does happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it could be like a huge culture shock. You know what I'm saying?
Work hard.
Culture shock, like,
work hard
this place? Yeah.
That's the difference of living and surviving.
I would only do it, bro, if after I reached a certain amount of success in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after I already achieved everything I wanted to achieve, and it's just like maybe me, my wife, and I got grandkids and stuff, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go live on acres of farms, have a house on acres and farms, have animals, and just like chill.
Yeah, because that's like your second act. I feel like you have to have, like, the same way you kind of need to get back to nature and do those things as a human. I feel like you still need to have fulfillment. You still need. If I woke up every day and it was just like I lived a simple life from birth, like, it's like and once again, I'm not saying these people don't have purpose, but it's like me personally, knowing what I know and because of what I grew up in, like I would like, what's like, how do I find a passion? Like, where do I, maybe I still do find art. Maybe I whittle on wood or something, but like, it's like, to me, it's like, I want to accomplish everything I want to accomplish. And then like, you have the choice of like, all right, now I get to upgrade my life, but I'm downgrading it in a different area. Like I'm taking away all the extra shit that I don't need. And it's just me, paradise, like you getting to live. And then I think sometimes, people in those areas, they kind of have to survive because of how things are. It's like, all right, they get sick. It's not as simple as, sometimes you hear stories of some of us are completely healthy adults. It's like, oh, when you're a baby, you got really, really sick. Yeah. And it's like, if you're in that area as a baby, maybe you don't survive. You feel me? Or like if you're in that area and you break a leg, maybe now instead of walking straight, you have like a little hobble to you, or like you feel me? Like 100%. I broke my right leg twice. I break my right leg twice before the age of 6 in an area like that. I don't know how I'm walking. Yeah. I walk completely fine. I can run completely fine.
I had pneumonia when I was a baby.
Yeah, like
I probably would have made it.
You feel me? So you do have to look at those things like that, where we get to see the luxury part of it, but there are those struggles, just like you have the anxieties here and having to think about what happened.
You're behind the scenes. It's just aggravating.
Jason's annoyed.
Because she's been over here grilling me, and I'm like, what? What? And she's waiting for a signal, but we never determined what this signal was. So I was like, oh shit, yeah. I have to make something up. This is the signal.
My back is on fire.
Listen, Kiki's a grandma, okay?
No, so my back is literally burning. Y'all don't realize that I keep moving my position in the chair.
Stand up straight.
I did, and it's burning my back.
Yeah, massage, homie.
She goes all the time. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
You need simplicity, which is what we're talking about now.
Right.
So, you ready to close the episode out, Kiki?
Gotta do it in Spanish.
What do I say?
You have to say it in Spanish.
You gotta say it in Spanish.
All right, what do I say?
Tell me.
Figure it out.
You guys gotta end it with Spanish, though. Say good night. Have a good day, everybody.
This is another episode of Demigod.
What
Demigod Chronicles?
There was some patois. It has to be different language. It has to be different language. Patois. Do something. Do patois. Something. Change. You gotta change this. We can't do it in English.
No, I'm not doing it for these people.
Just say vámonos.
All right, people. This has been another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. We appreciate you for tuning in. Whether you stopped listening after 15 seconds, whether you made it to this point, we appreciate you for even giving us a chance. Follow us on social media at Makida with a bunch of H's. We gonna tag her for them things. CB.Lopez, J Square, no underscores. Yeah, that's it. I ain't trying to know nobody else. Nobody else is.
I think mine has
yourself.
Huh?
I think mine has.
They know my shit. Nah, underscore demigod underscore, and follow the page on Twitter at the DGC underscore, on Instagram at the Demigod Chronicles underscore, and follow myself at MSTRD underscore studio spelled with a V. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Tell your mamas, and your mama's mamas, and your mama's mamas. From my family to yours, we love y'all. See you next week. We out of here.